Good evening and welcome to Craft Beer Nation's Friday Night Hangout. Tonight is episode 170. And even though today is no longer IPA Day, and I think it's actually the International Beer Day, we are still celebrating IPA Day anyway. So it's going to be lots of big hoppy bitter beers. And hopefully no one brought the same IPA that they brought to our IPA show when we did that a few months back. So,
or yesterday.
I didn't. Or last night. Yeah, we started celebrating IPA Day last night, and we decided to just keep going tonight. So let me introduce the panel, our group, real quick. I've got the always wonderful Randy Gardner Jr. here. Randy.
How goes it?
And pretty good. How you doing?
All right.
And I've got Gil Mello, our Brazilian connection.
Hey there.
How you doing, Gil?
Doing awesome.
Rocking the cool Craft Beer Nation hat.
Yeah, look at that.
Backwards, Randy.
Cool. I got a new glass today too from San Boniface. I'm all happy.
Oh, nice.
It's a Willie Becker.
Yeah.
Now that I've got that sort of furniture in the kitchen with my glasses, I have room to add more. So
that's how it started.
Yep. I've got about 5 open slots there. I'm now starting to think. This is that resin glass I've always been wanting, and a couple of other things. So, anyway, Jeffrey J. Davis, welcome. How you doing?
Hey, how's it going,
Good
guys?
to see you again.
Good to be here.
You traveling, or are you home?
Yeah,
or?
I'm home now, but I've been traveling all week. But I'm home tonight. So.
Cool. And Linda Dean, how you doing, Linda?
Good. Happy.
Is it past lunchtime yet where you are?
just a little bit, but you wouldn't know it looking out my window, would you?
It's bright.
I know.
Just about lunch.
It was still interesting. It was last week when we were watching the sun still in your window and the sun coming up in Boris's window in Germany.
Yeah.
So we had the sun in 2 windows and 2 opposite sides, and one was yesterday and one was tomorrow or whatever.
And I started freaking out because I thought we were time traveling.
The sun never sets on the Craft Beer Nation.
No,
We span the globe.
Right.
That's right.
And this brings us to Lola Laracy. How you doing, Lola?
I'm okay. And we were talking about how your sound is reverberating a little bit.
Yeah.
I just want you to do the all couple skate just once.
Do the what?
All couple skate.
What's the all couple skate?
Did you ever go roller skating?
Oh, I did. I was a long time ago. We went to a place called the
skate?
Rinky Dink in Staten Island.
Well, you sound like you should be going all couple skate. All couple skate. That's how you sound. That's what it reminds me of.
Cool. I've been fiddling around with the settings on Voicemeeter too, trying to take the tin out of the microphone.
Now you just got the nice reverberation going like a DJ or something.
Cool. I'll have to listen to the playback later to see what it sounds
You'll
like.
have to listen to
I may have to pop into like a little hangout by myself and just play around with the audio for a while. But anyway, like I said, I'm Charles Dunkley. I'm hosting tonight. This is episode 170. And like I said, we're doing IPAs. And I guess I'm going to follow my film strip below me, which is different from everyone else's film strip, I'm sure. But first up tonight is Randy. How you doing? What are you drinking, Randy?
Hello there, Charles.
Hello,
tonight, I'm enjoying a Missile IPA. This is from Champion Brewery, or is it Champion Brewing? I don't know. Champion Brewing Company here out of Virginia. This particular beer is 65 IBUs, 7%. I think it's a single malt beer that just used straight 2-row, and it's dry. I don't know what they hopped it with in the boil, but they dry hopped it with Simcoe, Cascade, and Summit. So it's not it's definitely not a big IPA. The aroma on it is, well, here, I'll let you take a look at it first. Like a light, a dark golden color, if that makes sense. My nose for the words to describe beer now, as far as aroma goes, seems to elude me lately. But it smells good. I don't get much tropical at all. I guess you could tell by the hops that I just named. Simcoe, Cascade, Summit. There's nothing really tropical in there. It's just I get a little bit of dankness, a tiny bit of pine in there, but it's not a this is from Matt's neck of the woods. This is Charlottesville, by the way. So it's not like a super duper gonna impress you IPA. It's a good IPA. Would I buy a 6-pack? Probably not. But if I had the opportunity to pick some more up and like a mix 6, I'd get it. But I think this is my first offering from these guys, and it's decent. I'd give them another try. But yeah, that's my IPA, Missile IPA from Champion Brewing in Charlottesville, Virginia.
Nice. And can you show the was it a can? Can you show that again?
There you go.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a cool can.
One quick technical note. Who was the first one in to the Hangout under the CBN account?
Oh.
Any idea?
I was.
All right, so you're the one who has the blue boxing powers.
Oh, okay. I guess I should have blue boxed myself I guess I didn't need to blue box myself when I was talking, huh?
No, just don't blue box somebody and forget about that's the.
Okay.
Yeah, so I got clarification from that yesterday from Ronnie
who actually
Benser
talked
over
to
on
you?
Google Plus.
Oh.
Who he's a Hangout master course. He teaches and everything, and he gave me that clarification. And if you drop out, whoever came in second on the account, they take over the blue boxing capability. So just something to keep in mind, because I've watched some replays and I know I blue box people, and I'm like, how come it's not staying on them? And now I realize it's not the person who clicks start broadcast; it's the first one in.
That's good to know, because there are some times when I want to check my hair and makeup, and I'm like, I could blue box myself, and then I'll be able to see myself bigger. And then I'm like, no, then it'll be blue box for everybody. Now I know if I'm not first, I can blue box myself all I want.
And you can just look at yourself the entire
I know,
Hangout.
and I can be like, I'm so glorious. I'll be like, so pretty, like a Disney princess. Yeah, right.
I wish I was wasted already.
I had a hard day, man.
Some of us started drinking at noon today.
Yeah.
They moved my seat at work, and I was all disoriented. I'm facing a different direction. I'm on the other side of the building.
If the dude hides your stapler, be careful. You're in trouble.
No, they pretty much let me have whatever I want to.
Cool.
So just before we move on, is that the first time you're having that IPA, Randy?
No, actually, this is the second time. My grocery store allows you to do the mix 6, and I picked up 2 of them just because I'd been seeing it around all the time, and it's a local. Well, it's in Virginia, so I consider it to be a local beer, and I always try to support local when I can. So I picked it up the first time. Thought it was it's a decent beer, and I was actually going to drink something else tonight. I was going to drink Citrosity from DC Brau, but then before I opened the crowler, I was looking it up online and realized that, hey, this is not an IPA. So I had to go to the bench and pull something off the bench, and it was cold, so I grabbed it.
I was sitting at the San Boniface today, and those guys were sitting next to me, and he was raving about this brewery he went to see called DC Brau. How good they were. I was like,
Did you say anything?
I said, I've had a couple beers from them.
So modest.
Should have told me you've been there.
Yeah.
All right, Gil, you're up next. What are you drinking tonight?
Oh, I'm drinking the Shoots Fresh Squeeze. This is I think this is
Love that.
This is one of those IPA that I think sometimes get overseen. People take it for granted sometimes. I only hear people raving about it, but this is an excellent IPA.
It is. It is.
I mean, looks
so tropical.
It is. Yeah, it looks beautiful in the glass. Had a good, head retention in there. And it's just like Jeffrey said. I mean, this is one IPA. If you like those tropical tones in the beer, a lot of that grapefruit and those stuff. This is a perfect example.
I call that beer Starburst in a glass. Yeah, it's so awesome.
I love that. I love that one best when it's when it's one of the first of the season
Yeah.
on draft at Beer 30.
Fresh keg of that is killer.
Fresh keg at the season. I am over a Beer 30 within minutes.
Is that beer seasonal or is it year round now?
It's seasonal still.
It's seasonal, but the stores still have a whole lot of it left.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what that means.
It's old, exactly.
Yeah.
Be careful. Check the date.
Yeah, check the date. But for a brewery that is not on the East Coast
Yet.
they're not. It's what I like. And again, I love when I say things like this, sounds like I don't like West Coast IPA. That's not it. I love West Coast. I love palate wreckers, bitter beers. But at the same time, I enjoy IPAs have like a nice malt backbone to it, right? And this is like that. I think this is not at all a beer that just on your face, we're gonna crush you with hops, that kind of thing, So I think this beer has an amazing balance. It's really, really good. A lot of floral notes. Again, it looks pretty, tastes pretty. It's very, very refreshing. I'm trying to figure out. Oh, it's only 6.4%. So
Session.
it's very sessional too. How drunk? And we're a bunch of drunk because it's only 6.4%, right?
Lawnmower beer.
Yeah.
But we spoke a little bit last week about the differences between the West Coast and the East Coast IPAs, and I think the IPA craze in America kind of originated on the West Coast, right? So that's why they have their IPAs tend to be a lot more hop forward because that's essentially. When the style first started here, it was about being as hop forward as possible, and then a lot of the East Coast brewers started not East Coast brewers not named Dogfish Head and Sam Adams kind of started getting into the craft beer game and started kind of differentiating themselves as far as IPA goes and making it a little different from the West Coast. Now, that's not to say that East Coast breweries can't make a good West Coast IPA, because they absolutely can.
Yeah.
One here in Virginia, Hardywood Park, they make one called Great Return, which is a really good example of a West Coast IPA. But, Gil, to the point that you just made, I mean, not knocking West Coast IPAs, but because when you want a West Coast IPA, you want a West Coast IPA.
You want that
right?
Unbalanced bitter, bitter beginning and end, yeah.
But sometimes you just want a little more balance in your IPA, and I think for me, a lot of the East Coast IPAs kind of fit that bill nicely for me.
I think Fresh Squeeze is probably one of the best balanced IPA, in my opinion. Again, it's nice, it's refreshing. There's all the zestness. There's the floral notes, the grapefruit, all that you get from this beer, and you get the malt, you get the hop, and you can easily drink 2 or 3 of those, and not get phased by it. So I think very well balanced, very, very good beer. I love this. Well, I think the Shoot is a great brewery. I mean,
can I tell you another one, Gil? Another one, Gil, that's like that in the sense that you get all those different aspects that you just called out. I think Flower Power from Ithaca.
Yeah.
Which is my next beer, just so
yeah. Gil always has inventory of that beer, which is and that's killer. But I think there's a big difference on Flower Power. You got to get that fresh. It's a different beer, fresh than a month old.
Well, Jeffrey, the good thing about Flower Power is they brew that beer year round.
But by the time Gil sends it to me, I think it's usually 6 months old. So.
That's because
yeah, okay, well, let me take that off the box. Definitely. Well, it's like you guys live so far away. By the time you get there, the thing is a year old, like it's aged already. Yeah. I aged on the mail.
Bottle conditioned.
Don't send me no beer that was canned 2 weeks ago. Get that out of here. That old stuff out of here.
I do have to say, though, one of the best beers, as far as like your IPA kind of beer, is Lunch from Maine. I was lucky enough to get a bottle of that, and
what is the
it
name
had
of
been
Lunch?
in the bottle for
Maine Brewing.
Yeah, It had been in the bottle for like maybe 8 days when I got my hands on it, and that was pretty amazing.
Those guys can brew, man. Even like Mo is good. Zoe is good.
Is that the guys doing that? Is that the label that
just white label?
It looks like it was printed on their
yeah.
The label almost
printer. Yeah.
The label almost makes you not want to buy the beer, because you're like, come on, man, you can put a little more effort in that into your. if you didn't put any kind of effort in your label, you didn't put any effort in your beer. But that's not true.
Yeah,
those beers are awesome.
I bet he got his label approved quick.
They probably put so much effort into the beer, and they got to the label, they were like, man, just put a label on it.
Just slap anything on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's part of their thing, and most of their beers are like short little names too, or single names.
The name, their name of an uncle.
Except for Mean Tom.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which is solid.
Aptly named too.
Cool. Huh. Cool. All right. Jeffrey?
Yeah, guys, I'm drinking tonight a beer that most of you have probably never heard of, but it's quite famous around these parts. This is Lone Pint Brewing from Magnolia, Texas. This is their Yellow Rose. Okay, so this is a smash beer. So it's Mosaic and Pilsner malts. This is actually the first time I've ever had this in a bottle. It's pretty. You can find this pretty regularly around on tap, and it's a pretty critically acclaimed beer. A lot of people say it's the Pliny of Texas. On draft, I would almost agree with that. It's really
on drugs. Did you say on drugs?
Well, maybe. Yeah.
You said so. Wait, like that beer is Pliny good?
Check it out on Beer Advocate. A lot of people say that it's the Pliny of Texas. Okay, so. I wouldn't say that, but it's a damn solid IPA. But it's better fresh on draft than it is out of the bottle. You know, it's pure Mosaic, so fresh. You know, on draft you get huge citrus, grapefruit nose. In the bottle, this is more kind of like pear and mango. It's fruity, but not aggressively so. And you just have this it's really light. You know, and you have this really kind of crisp. Biscuity malt backbone, so it's really the malt is not very present until the back of it, but it's really crisp and refreshing, and it's a well-made beer. I mean, this head's going to be there for 15 minutes.
Nice.
So it's great. I don't think I would trade for this, just because by the time you get a bottle, it's going to be at least 3 or 4 weeks old. But if you're ever in Houston area and you see it on tap, buy it. Buy it on site without question. So it's really solid local IPA.
Man, I have no problem of drinking a 3 weeks old IPA.
Well, I can do that for you, man. I can hook you up, brother. You know that.
I have not the slightest problem with it.
Okay. Message received. Message received, Gil.
If you have a problem drinking, never mind. I get it.
Yeah. What's the exchange rate between fresh Yellow Rose and old Flower Power? It's like 2-1, right?
I think it's 1-1 right now.
Okay.
Cool. That does sound. It looks really good too.
It's a great beer. Really is good.
What's the brewer's name again?
They're called Lone Pint. So they're in. I don't know if that's in focus at all, but they're Magnolia, Texas, which is just to the northwest of Houston. So they got they have about 15 or 20 beers that are normally on rotation.
The thing that intrigues me about that beer, and correct me if I'm wrong, but Pilsen malt is going to give you a little bit of a like a biscuity character, right?
That's what I'm saying. So you don't get it's not a, there's no caramel or anything like you might get in a big double. This is the malt. The malt is just there to kind of crisp it up at the back and just give it a little bit of foundation, but it's not overpowering at all.
So the thing is, like, if you get that beer being a smash beer, and for people watching or listening, smash beer is single malt and single hop. You got the Pilsen malt that's nice and biscuity, but at the same time kind of light, and then you got the hop that Gil would snort up his nose and powder form being Mosaic.
Yeah.
Like I would have to imagine that beer is almost all mosaic hop. I mean, it's absolutely.
That's 80% of the flavor profile is the hop, especially when it's fresh. I mean, this is a killer, fresh mosaic smash when you get it fresh on draft.
And I don't pretend, or I don't say that mosaic is necessarily the best hop.
It's one that you like.
It's just my favorite. It's my favorite, because those are the profile that a hop brings to a beer. That to me, it's just.
I don't normally do bong hits of hops, but when I do, it's usually mosaic.
Mosaic.
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that.
Interesting hop in the world.
Hey, if you think it's the best, that's fine.
That's it. The best as far as you're concerned. That's all that matters. A lot of people agree with you. They even make beers, smash beers around it, like that Green Flash you were drinking the other night.
Well, yeah, I had it the mosaic session, which it was okay.
How old was it? Is a question.
Yeah. I mean, no, it was a good beer. Let's see. I don't even know how old it is.
It should be on the lower left-hand corner of the label.
Yeah, it's from.
It don't matter. Seeing that's how you ain't drinking it now, and that was.
Yeah, he only says best by. So I should drink by August 19th. So.
Oh, so that's old then.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty old. At best. Yeah. Anyway.
So. Yeah. I don't know who's. Oh, there's Charles right there.
Yeah, I'm back. My cable modem rebooted for some reason. You just finished up, Jeffrey?
Yeah, I'm done, man. Moving on.
All right. Cool. So next up is Linda. Linda, how you doing? What are you drinking?
Good. I've got from the makers of Dale's Pale Ale, Old Chub, Mama's Little Yellow Pills, and 1050. Is Oskar Blues brand new IPA.
Nice.
I love the font on that can. They ain't
it is. It's beautiful, isn't it?
No loss from.
It's like sue me if you dare.
And on the bottom says new can on the block. Canned July 30th. Now, as far as I know, it's not supposed to actually be in stores until later this month.
Let's go ahead and Glade. Let's not talk about how you got that beer.
Yeah, exactly.
It's 6.43%, and this uses Australian hops such as Enigma, Vic Secret, Ella, and Topaz.
I've never heard of any of those.
So, Linda, interesting thing about that.
Yeah.
Is Stone's coming out with their 19th? I think it's 19th anniversary beer.
Really?
And it's an IPA called Thunderstruck, and it's all like down under beer. The malt was imported from Australia. The hops are all Southern Hemisphere. Matter of fact, specifically New Zealand and Australia. It's Galaxy hops. It's Ella hops. It's Vic Secret hops, and. I cannot remember what the other one is, but it's funny you said that because two of the hops that you named are. I just read that tonight. Two of those hops are in that beer that Stone is putting out.
Well, it's probably going to be a good one then because I really like this one. This is a nice golden color. It actually it came out with a pretty big head, but then again I'm an aggressive pourer, and it has decent carbonation in it. What really gets me is that the hops kind of explode on your tongue as you take the first sip and then kind of fade away like fireworks.
Nice. Like one of those bottle rocket things.
Yeah, it's kind of like a bottle rocket. It's not the carbonation exploding. It's the taste of the hops exploding on your tongue.
Crackling
and
good.
Fading away. So it's it's really refreshing, and it's got a really nice light bright texture to it. It's really drinkable. And I would definitely recommend buying this. I'll definitely be looking for a 6-pack of this.
Are you getting like tropical fruit and stone fruit in that?
More citrus than anything else. More grapefruit than orange, and maybe a little bit of peach and apricot.
Okay.
By the way, the $45 the ticket for the release for the Stone 19th anniversary. They're gonna have a release party with all the.
Oh, in Escondido?
Yeah.
August 15th, I think. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
at Cal State, I think. Does anybody know, is there a definitive story on the origins of IPA? I mean, I think we've all heard the story of the British soldiers in India, but is that truly the origin of the IPA style?
Wasn't it Hera came down to Earth because she was so pissed at she decided to get everybody up on hopped up on beer.
It's
so
actually
they would worship her.
It's actually a combination of things. It's like, preserving the beer for a long journey. It's more like having a beer, that fits more the flavor for that was made for the, to be transported on the West India. But I think there's a little bit of they would send a beer to West India for a while as well. So I think there's a little bit of truth in every story. But I think it was only, we said that there's the first time, actually is recorded the first time they used the term India IPA, India Pale Ale, sorry.
But I wonder who the first person was that thought, hey, it'd be a great idea to stick this little cone of lovely lupulin-filled stuff in this glass.
Well, it was known as a preservative, though, right? I mean, they knew it was served as a preservative. So
preservative, yeah.
So you're gonna live forever, Gil, after smoking those mosaic cones.
Yeah.
Good point. And
All right.
There is a lady who's like 110 years, and she said her secret was drinking a beer every day.
And we're all gonna live forever.
I'm gonna live forever.
Between us, we're talking 1,000 years.
Jeffrey's gonna be 500 years old.
Exactly. You can call me Nebuchadnezzar.
I mean, you probably could smoke hops. I mean, it's a cousin to cannabis.
If you get one of those hookahs, those the smoke pipes for the the bottle.
I've read about those, yeah.
Yeah. If you get one of,
It get really sticky though. I mean, lupulin really gets sticky.
Some friends of mine had those in high school.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, but I
always saw them.
Yeah, there's those hookah bars now that are popular and stuff. So yeah, you could probably get that liquid and throw some hops in there, and just smoke that thing.
And for those who may be lost in translation, he's saying hookah, not saying hookah bar, not a hooker bar.
Yeah. Hookah.
HOOKAH.
Where you smoke things out of a long pipe type thing,
Okay, let's keep it on topic here, guys.
What?
Well, it was to put hops on a way to smoke hops,
Yeah, I think I started that.
It wasn't Brew Dogs on one of the episodes. They did that. They did that. IPA did that. The guy had a way to make this smoke where they could actually smoke the beer. You guys remember that episode?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sure.
Cool.
I could see
So
that.
I am looking forward to this IPA coming out, though, personally.
What, the Stone IPA?
No, well, that too, but the Oskar Blues.
The Oskar Blues one.
Oscar
That sounds. I didn't realize that was, purely Southern Hemisphere. That sounds like a pretty juicy little flavor bomb.
It is. It is pretty juicy, and it's definitely got an explosion of flavor. I mean, it lingers. It fades off to a really soft bitterness, but the flavor while it's there is wow.
It starts hit.
In a four-pack of 22-ounce cans, stovepipes is going to be sick.
Starts hitting the. No, Jeffrey, not the one Linda's drinking isn't straight Southern Hemisphere.
Yeah, it is.
The malt too?
Oh,
I don't know about the malt. All I know is the hops is predominantly Australian hops.
Okay.
The only thing that I've heard is Enigma, Vic Secret, Ella, and Topaz.
The Stone beer is absolutely. It's all Southern Hemisphere ingredients, but just brewed in the Northern Hemisphere.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Nice.
And that hits the shelves and taps on Monday.
Cool.
I wonder how much money it cost them to import all that.
A lot.
I'm out.
From
I tried
Australia, actually, it's not as bad as a lot of the stuff that we're getting from elsewhere, because it comes in on this. It comes in on the same flights and the same ships as a lot of our lamb.
Oh, okay. So you got some lamb. They're eating all the hops. I would be really sad if the lambs got here and they're all like, "Yeah, we ate your hops."
Hop flavored lamb. I would buy that in a heartbeat.
Oh my God! I think we just gave some people some ideas. You know,
There's a festival. There's a festival here tomorrow called Lamb Stock, and it's a food and beer party that all you do is feast on lamb and get drunk.
Right, Doug. So, where's the nearest airport, and when can you pick?
Do you wanna read on the can where the beer that you got was brewed? Was Breward or was in
I'm sure it was in Colorado, right?
Colorado?
No,
I'm guessing.
Colorado. It's Colorado. Longmont, Colorado.
Okay.
Cool. All right, Lola, you're up.
All right, I got one of my go-tos. It tastes a little stale. I was trying to see when the date was, but I couldn't find a date. It's Laughing Dog Company. Their Dogzilla Black IPA. It's a really solid IPA. I love black IPAs because, like we were talking about, I like the malt backbone. And the hops aren't too overpowering. It's not a hop bomb. There's not much complexity with the hops. I've had so many good hops lately, so many good beers that use different hops that I've never tasted before, never smelled before, just so amazing. And so, as I said, this is my go-to beer, but the more I have other IPAs, the more I'm like, my go-to beer is kind of one-dimensional. So, I'm sorry, Laughing Dog, it is a bit one-dimensional, but you know, it's still good. I mean, if I don't feel like going and trying to track down the latest, greatest IPA, I know this is at Total Wine and I can get it. It pours a really dark brown, and it didn't have much of a head. I think it had that much of a head when I first poured it.
Wow, wait, which one did you say that is again? It's
Dogzilla.
Dogzilla.
Oh, yeah, oh, okay.
And I actually looked up the hops. Let me get to where I can read it. I'm on their website. Simcoe, Mount Hood, and Cascade hops.
Yeah, nothing tropical about that.
No, it's pretty straightforward, but you know it'll do me. And that's what I asked.
So how do you think a black IPA differs from all the rest of the clear IPAs, Lola?
The malt. To me it makes it more well balanced because it's not just the hot flavor. It's got some meatiness in there too from the malt. But now the more I drink this, the more I'm thinking, well, it also kind of obscures the hops. So maybe I don't like it as much as I thought I did. I'm having a crisis, an identity crisis. I don't know what to do.
I gotta tell you.
Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead, Linda.
I was going to say, usually that signifies that it's time to move on and try more exciting IPAs.
Well, and I have been lately. I think that's my problem. I was thinking we were talking about Galaxy. I had a really good Galaxy beer. It was a few weeks ago. I can't remember the name of it. Untapped Nose. It was really good. And I've had some other Australian hops that I love. And I had another beer a few weeks ago that was kind of a zesty orange IPA. And now that I've had all these different type of IPAs, I'm thinking my normal go-tos aren't doing it anymore.
I got to tell you,
IPA fan now too.
You are or you aren't?
I am, yeah.
I'm not. I mean, I don't, man. I guess it's like the same way I'm not a fan of American style barley wines, because when I drink a barley wine, I want malt, and when I drink an IPA, I want hops. I don't want roasty malts.
Okay.
Like if I want a roasty malt beer that's not like super heavy, I'm gonna drink a porter.
I'm with Randy on that, but there are some black IPAs that are like Firestone Walker, has. So there are some that are good for that specific style, even that I'm not a fan of it. Yeah, but there are some that are really, really good, really well done.
Yeah, Firestone Walker, Santa Fe's Black IPA. They make a good one, but I mean, just the style overall.
It doesn't do much for me either.
I have to agree that I'm not looking for a thick texture. I don't mind a light roastiness to it, as long as I'm still getting lots and lots of hops.
Yeah. When you want hops, man.
Man, this stray cat just straight up and showed up on my back porch.
Feed it some beer.
It just it creeped me out because I saw some movement on the side of me. And I'm like, what the hell is that? Knowing that my dogs are in the bedroom with my wife. I didn't know what it was, but yeah, never mind. Sorry to interrupt.
You're in the middle of a Stephen King movie.
Stray cat leads to a stray comment.
Zoo.
Yeah. Oh, I love Zoo. We're off topic again, but Zoo is awesome.
Charles.
Yeah. But regarding the Black IPA for just a moment, we when we were having our Pale Ale, IPA, Double IPA, those 3 weeks in a row, we actually did get into a whole Black IPA discussion. And if you go to our Craft Beer Nation YouTube page and go to our Sips and Clips playlist, that is one of the things listed in there. There is a whole Black IPA discussion. So for anyone who's interested in the Black IPA, you can go and listen to a more developed, a longer conversation with a slightly different group of Craft Beer Nation people talking about the Black IPA. Anyway,
yeah, I actually have a bottle of their Black Rye IPA.
I like Black Rye.
And then we've had Doug Nolan join. Doug's been fighting off stray cats off his porch, but hopefully he's ready to pour beer.
I don't know where it went, but it's out there somewhere.
Trying to steal his beer.
You don't know where your beer went? Oh my God!
What's that?
You don't know where your beer
I don't know
went?
No,
the cat. It's right here. Don't worry.
So what do you got?
Oh, okay. All right.
Well, beer number 1 is gone, but what I was drinking was Sam Adams, the Rebel.
Nice. I like
The Rebel IPA.
That beer is actually decent, man. At least I think so.
And it's one of those beers, like, I guess Sam Adams kind of has, there's a lot of mixed reviews about Sam Adams. I know, they're big, and I think for me, I mean, this is just maybe my own opinion about Sam Adams. Like, I feel like a lot of their beers tend to kind of, aim towards, obviously, the more mainstream. They're not necessarily gauged towards, the more hardcore craft beer people, except for, some exceptions that they've been making, like Utopias and whatnot.
And KMF.
Yeah. And, like, so I think things like, when they've gotten into this Rebel IPA, and the, I forget the name of their double IPA that they have out now.
Is it Rebel Rouser?
Yeah, and I think it's pretty solid too, and it's like, they're like where have these beers been? Like a lot of the things, a lot of their things besides like Utopias in the past, like have never really. I mean, they're not bad beers. They're just nothing that is stellar that you're going to start recommending to people. But this one was I've had it a couple times now, and it's really pretty solid. I wouldn't say it's something, still, like, when it comes to, like, IPAs, nothing, like, over the top, but if it's a pretty, respectable, easy drinking, IPA.
One of the things I'd like to do is, I haven't had a chance yet to have the Rebel side by side with their Latitude 48. So I'd like to see what the two of them are like. I'm a big fan of their Latitude 48 IPA.
I haven't had a chance to try the Latitude 48 at all. But the
Rebel, I wish I'd gotten that 12-pack they had a while back.
The Rebel's a pretty dependable IPA here.
Yeah. I mean, it's a very solid, well-rounded IPA. It's got a nice kind of malty, biscuity malt background to it. The hops are not overpowering. It's it got your tropical citrusy notes, a little bit of pine, floral, like finishing up. But it's overall, pretty well-made beer.
I enjoyed it. I actually liked the session and the IPA. I wasn't as big a fan of the Rebel Rouser, the double IPA. Session and these first two were very similar to each other, and it just seemed like the
Session
Rebel
is
Rouser.
Easy Rider or something like that?
Or is it maybe Rebel Rider?
Rebel Rider, that's what it is.
Yeah,
Rebel Rouser.
they were very similar to each other in flavor profile, and then the Rebel Rouser to me was it went in a totally different direction. But again, I don't know the age of the 3 bottles I had. They were just in a mix, on your craft your own 6-pack shelf. So, but I have to try again to see.
I don't know how far out they date their bottles.
Sure.
Like my second bottle now is Best by. The second beer I'm drinking is Best by October 2015, and the Sam Adams is Best by October 2015 as well. If I'm already on number 2, but this one, so I don't know how far out. If it's dated October, was it bottled in June or?
What's their Best By mean?
Yeah.
Probably 6 months, I'm guessing.
For an IPA, yeah, I'd guess 6 months max.
Well,
anything going into mass distribution, they're not going to put a short 45-day window on that at all.
No.
Yeah.
And beer has no regulation. It's a decision of the brewery.
Before we move on to anyone's second beer, I want to just jump in with mine real quick since I'm almost done with it.
Yeah.
I am going with the Omegang's first foray into the non-Belgian beers.
I didn't know
that.
Their Nirvana IPA.
Nice.
This is really, really good. I had this as soon as it came out. I've gotten a bunch of these over the summer. This is kettle hopped with Bravo, Simcoe, Centennial, Topaz, and Mosaic. And then it's dry hopped with Centennial, Citra, Simcoe, and Amarillo.
Damn, they threw all the hops
dry
in there.
hopped. Yeah, they threw everything in there but the kitchen sink. The Citra. I love dry hopping with Citra.
Yeah, and this is a really good beer. It's got a lot of flavor. It's got a lot of some tropical floral notes, and it's not a big bitter West Coast.
Is that the one that was a bottle at Boulevard? Is that the one?
Yeah, they came up with the recipe in Omegang and then went to Boulevard and they worked out the details on their pilot system, and then Boulevard brewed it for them. And this uses one of Boulevard's yeast strains because there's no Belgian anything in here at all.
That makes sense because they have more experience with IPAs.
Yeah,
So-
and this is one of the things that being owned by Duvel had, I think, a part to play in this. They've got a lot more flexibility, and Duvel's very interested in Omegang in particular, developing a lot of summer or seasonal beers for different seasons. And so they're helping them out in terms of, I guess, hops and yeast or whatever they need. They're really interested in making sure that they not just have their year-round lineup, but that they can actually really gain a foothold on the seasonal market, something that Omegang really didn't have for a long time.
Charles, don't you think, we're always hating on, our favorite brewers that get bought by a major or semi-major, but don't you think that's a positive if it sets up a flexibility among their systems that allows, an Omegang to experiment with different styles of beer that they never would have done on their own system?
Yeah, Duvel's been nothing but good for Omegang as far as an owner. It's not your typical. It's not a.
And that's the same that Boulevard said. They view it exactly the same way,
It's more of a co-op. It's like a network. I like how everyone feels equal. All the breweries still feel equal. They don't feel like they're owned by one entity.
Look, man, people who hate on the fact that Duvel bought Boulevard and Firestone and Omegang are people who hate just for the purpose of hating.
Yeah.
Duvel is a legitimate craft brewery. This brewery is family owned. Even when it comes to Firestone Walker, they're just an investor. They aren't having a say so in the day-to-day operations and how Firestone makes their beer. It's going to be business as usual as far as Firestone goes, with just more capital and more ability to do more crazy things and make better beer. To make that point even further, if you want to go back and talk about Sam that Doug's drinking, I mean, people hate on Sam. The only reason why Sam, okay, Charles, I know how you feel about Vienna Lager. That's fine. You don't like that beer, but a lot of people do, right? The thing is, I don't think people can legitimately hate on Sam because their beer is bad, because their beer isn't bad. At worst, their beer is okay. At worst. Sam,
it's drinkable. I mean, it's not like it's undrinkable. I mean, it's if you don't like Sam Adams beer, it's not because it's a bad beer. It's because you don't like the style.
Yeah, for me,
Right.
the Boston Lager, I can't drink the Boston Lager, but not because it's a bad beer. I recognize that it's a quality beer. It's just not my palate.
Partially, it's just people on the craft beer world is confusing size with business practice, right? We don't hate big breweries. We hate big breweries' business practice, and that's
we hate corporate breweries.
And that's exactly where I was going. Since we all drink mediocre craft beer from what we consider to be craft breweries all the time, but as soon as you drink a mediocre beer from Sam Adams, all of a sudden Sam Adams is whack. And the fact of the matter is, people hate on Sam because of their size. Well, they didn't get to be that big without making good beer. So the whole point
I think it falls back on like what I was saying earlier. I think a lot of Sam Adams' business practices was, kind of brewing to the masses. Let's not try to overwhelm the market with, crazy off the wall stuff. Let's put something out there that be able to appreciate and drink like
Doug, at the same time, you gotta understand when Sam was the only player in the game, the beer that they were putting out there was off the wall. It wasn't mass marketed beer. It wasn't American adjunct lagers and pilsners. So
that's true.
I mean, and let me tell you, man, you're not gonna find a bigger ambassador of craft beer than Jim Koch, man. That guy lives, breathes everything craft beer, and people hate on him just because he's been successful, and I think that's ridiculous.
And he may have set the bar.
Ridiculous. That's true. And sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. You started first.
Hating on it is pretty ridiculous because Sam Adams is filling a niche for every day now. I mean, people are picking up boxes and boxes, for their everyday beer needs. Oh, I'll pick up Sam Adams, but I'll get one big beer. But they're getting a 16-pack.
There's nothing wrong about hating a brewery because they make bad beer, right? You want to hate Sam Adams, that's fine as long as for the right reasons. Like you hate their beer, that's up to you. You don't have to like their beer. It's just people are confusing. Like they're starting the whole idea of the big breweries and how they do business. They're bringing that they think like somebody like Sam Adams don't do that kind of thing. Now, if their beer is good or not, that's a totally separate thing. And for what Randy said before, I've had so many little craft breweries that taste like cat piss and horrible, but nobody says anything, right?
People praise them. Oh.
You can hate for any reason that you want to hate.
We're more likely to give that tiny little brewery a second chance.
You can hate for any reason you want to hate, but if your hate is if you're in the craft beer world, well, no, just go ahead, haters.
Well, that's what I was thinking.
How many people?
So how is the beer? I want to hear about the beer.
What beer?
That Charles is drinking. Yeah,
Charles, how's that IPA?
Only Young IPA.
Sorry,
Tastes like cat piss, doesn't it?
It's gone. I was like, which beer?
They did a
that was
really
like
good
20
job.
minutes ago when he introduced that.
Yeah, it's a really good beer. I love all the hops that they used anyway, and they did a really good job of blending them together, getting a great flavor profile. It's not a big. It's only 60 IBUs, so it's not gonna kill your palate at all. I was very impressed. I didn't know what to expect from their first non-Belgian beer, and I got these the day they were out. And,
but no Belgian yeast esters or phenols at all, right?
Nothing at all, which is part of why they brewed it at Boulevard's facility.
They don't want to contaminate their Belgian beer. Oh, give that American beer.
A Belgian IPA is a thing. DC Brau makes one.
Gang makes a few of them as well.
I have one here from
Flying Dog, Raging Bitch. DC Brau makes one called the Citizen, and I gotta tell you, man, this if you wanna have an IPA that gives you all the fruity Belgian esters to complement the hops, man, the Citizen is a legitimate beer, man.
I'd like to move that's one of our future styles, Belgian IPAs. I don't think we've ever done that, but I think it warrants a hangout.
Yeah, we'll have to do that because there's a lot of good ones out there.
We know what Jeffrey will be drinking.
Exactly.
Is it the Houblon?
Houblon Chouf, bud.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Probably
I'll
also
bring it too,
Modelo.
man, because that beer is freaking awesome.
Yeah. Does anyone have a second beer?
Yeah.
I do, yeah.
pretty
Sure
close to
do.
time.
I'm on, but this will be really quick. Okay, this is the same brewery. This is Lone Pine Brewery. This is their Jabberwocky. This is their
Great name.
double IPA.
Cool.
But I got to tell you, this is nowhere near Yellow Rose. I've had this once on draft, and I didn't remember it being objectionable. I've never had it in a bottle. It's pretty average, and it has it's more your classic kind of double IPA, a little maltier, but it just has this weird like kind of aspirin aftertaste, which is I find highly objectionable. So I'm not going to drain for it, but it's kind of a little bit disappointing. It's 114 IBUs, 8.5%. They talk about it's
Wait, how many IBUs?
114. Yeah.
Lord.
Yeah, exactly. It's
What's the ABV?
It's 8.5. It's Columbus and Citra, and they hype on the bottle that it's brewed so heavily that post-boil, after all the wort has been transferred to the fermenter, the hop mass at the bottom of the kettle is more than 1 foot deep, and then they actually dry hop it with the same two hops again. So it's heavily hopped, but it's just I don't know, something's not quite right. It's not as tight as it should be. A little disappointed. So
it ain't no hop stupid, huh?
Yeah, no. But it should be priced like Hop Stupid. It should be $3.95 for a 22-ounce bottle, not.
People watching get Hop Stupid if you see it.
Yeah.
I know. I drank it at the beach last week, man. It was $3.99 at
Hell yeah.
grocery store. It's
Best Buy.
fucking awesome.
Best IPA for the
awesome.
money. Yeah. I'm not gonna talk much, but this just if you never had Flower Power from Ithaca Brewing Company, another amazing balanced, great beer.
Of course, they're distributed.
They
come to Virginia, just not my part of Virginia.
Yeah, a lot of hops, but with a nice malt sweetness to it too. So very, very well balanced beer. Looks pretty and tastes awesome. So just want to give them props.
I know Alan's not here tonight for me to bust out the old New Belgium Rampant.
Rampant. That's another one I like. I like Rampant.
The Flower Power, a lot of people don't realize kind of like how good that is and how kind of highly acclaimed it is. It's a pretty revered beer,
Yeah.
Well, and the whole thought about that beer.
Stage.
What do you say, Charles?
Flower Power holds its own on the national stage. It really does.
Yeah.
Really,
I think there's some honey in there too.
Fresh as hell, I bet, right, Charles?
Oh yeah, I get it from the source.
From the source.
Well, he's in New York.
This is old. This is 3 weeks old. So not good.
No, that's
And,
Charles is tap chugging it off the right tank,
and I haven't made it up yet on a Thursday, I think it is, or a Wednesday. They do a lot of cask versions of that beer where they'll play around with it. Yeah.
Doug, what were you saying?
About which one? My beer or the Flower Power?
Your Rampant.
Oh. Well, yeah, so we don't have, shit.
Concentrate.
I know.
Let it go.
Bring it back.
I was like, what's that guy's name?
Sam Adams?
Jim Coke?
Damn boy. But, yeah, same thing like this. Things, I don't know if I want to, like, say, kind of compare this to the Rebel, but to me, like, Rampant is, just a solid double IPA. It's nothing over the top. It's not, underwhelming. It's if there was, a accessible double IPA, like, this is what it is. It's not. It's very well balanced. It's, it's bitter. It's powering. You get that. It's more. It's got the same kind of floral, earthy notes with a little hint of the citrus to it. But yeah, it's a favorite just because it's it's readily available. On the shelves year-round, not hard to find.
Cool.
I went on. Go
sorry.
ahead, Linda. Go.
I've got Mazama Brewing's Mosaic Eruption here. If you like Mosaic hops, dude, this is the one to try.
I like how they did the mosaic on the label.
Yeah, that's cool.
It is. You know what?
That's the same thing that Terrapin did on their label.
This actually has not only Mosaic but Amarillo, Citrus, and Centennial, and it's only 6%, but it is an explosion of Mosaic hops right all the way through your mouth, down your throat, and you know it's Mosaic. It's really, really delicious.
I'm tired of hearing about Mosaic.
I'm glad Lila stopped at your throat. You know, she didn't go down to the digestive.
Lower pancreas.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's where it all ends up, so.
I went on to my second beer. I went local again. This is Old Ox Brewery out of Virginia. This is their Alpha Ox, a session IPA.
Awesome label.
Clocking in at 4.5%. These are the guys that were sued by Red Bull.
Really?
Yeah, because their name is Ox and Red Bull uses a bull in their logo.
That is so whack.
They don't want to confuse an ox with a bull.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's like I said, it's a session IPA. Surprisingly, it has pretty decent mouthfeel for a session IPA. Amarillo, Centros, Simcoe hops. Easy drinker, very good beer.
Excellent.
Cool.
Yeah.
Short and sweet.
I've got, real quick, Great Lakes Brewing, Commodore Perry.
Nice.
Yeah,
like
that's
that.
a good one.
Yeah, they've redesigned all their labels. I really
That's
like
that's
the
not
Different
design.
font,
the label I'm
different
used to.
font at the bottom. Yeah.
Yeah, and the whole new artwork too.
The
All their
picture's different,
bottles
too.
now have all new artwork. I really like them. I think they really suit the brewery much better than their old artwork did. And this is
What's the name of their
looking at
double
website,
IPA that they do?
It's a Lake Erie Monster. I just had like
Lake
6 of those the other night.
Wait,
That's good.
they do a
Burning
couple,
River is another great one.
and they also do
Nosferatu.
no, Nosferatu. That's their red ale.
Yeah.
They have another double IPA called something
Is it
Wave.
Chill Wave now? Yeah,
Something-
Chill Wave.
Chill Wave, yeah.
Chill Wave.
Chill Wave. Okay.
That's really good.
But they have
Unfortunately,
don't they
another-
have the Rye of the Tiger too? Like was that
Yeah,
Rye
Rye of the
IPA?
Tiger is another one.
That's a great name.
Another great brewery.
And Doug is gone.
Oh.
Yeah, and for me, Great Lakes is one of those, like Smutty Nose. Those are breweries I would pick to begin to introduce someone to craft beer.
Wait, Great Lakes does Smutty Nose?
No, he's
No,
talking.
Smutty Nose Brewery
Like
up in
Smutty
New
Nose.
Hampshire.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Oh, their finest kind is delicious.
Yeah, these are both two breweries I kind of put on a similar level, and they make a lot of different beers across the spectrum. I think they're both great, like, what's that word? You know,
Representations?
gateway breweries to craft beer.
Yeah, they're a California common. It's a nice beer to introduce people that doesn't like tons of hops.
So, anyone else still have their second to quickly give a shout out to? Or are we all caught up?
Done.
All right, so we're going to wrap this up here. Next Friday, we are actually looking at the schedule here. It says we are celebrating Lagunitas.
Lagunitas.
Oh, that
So
should be
we're
good.
going to have some more hops
Yeah.
making
Get
the stage.
stupid.
Yeah, and Lagunitas is another one. There's so many different things to choose from.
Nobody
And
drinks
they're
sucks
so
next
well
week because I'll be drinking sucks. Actually,
Alright,
I
that's good.
won't be here actually. So.
Oh. Then maybe I'll get some.
I don't think you can finish a 32-ounce bottle of sucks, Lola. Not
Well,
one
that's
week.
why I have my stopper.
Yeah, okay.
I don't even have my stopper. I only drank half of mine, but I'm just letting it free float in the air, see how it goes.
Yeah, I just wish that they would do one thing just to finish is like I wish there's more brewery doing IPAs with tropical fruits, and like mangoes, pineapple, grapefruit, like Sculpin does, from Ballast Point. I'm hoping to see that, and
I bet you will.
yeah. And one thing about IPAs to me, I thought IPAs were done to impress me, and this past years, I drink a lot of IPA. They was still surprising me. A lot of good IPAs, and I think that's something that counts for IPAs. You think you saw it all, but still there's so much stuff out there.
There's
Yeah,
diversity.
they still find a way to
Great
keep
point,
coming up with new
Gil.
ones.
Great point.
All right, so this is Craft Beer Nation. Thank you, everyone. Go to craftbeernation.org, and from there you can jump off to everywhere else we are on the internet, and of course go through our website. We usually post articles on our Friday Night Hangout, also on our Pints and Quarts show, which we do on Thursday nights, which is a more current event show on the craft beer industry. Yep.
Oh,
Pints and Quarts.
Pints and
There you
Quarts.
There we go. You got it.
Craft Beer Nation.
Yep. But anyway, we've had a couple of an off-air night and an on-air night celebrating the IPA, and I just want to say cheers to everyone, and here's to good beers, and have a good night, everyone, and we will see you next week.
Later, kids.
Cheers.
See ya.
Cheers.
Cheers.